the street, and suddenly I heard my best friend, she was yelling, she was waving at me. I turned and she was waving at me. She said, "Stop, stop!" And I heard people rambling around, and there was a lot of noise in that moment. I couldn't comprehend what was going on, and I remember smelling the rubber. It smelled really bad, and I heard people running, and there was just a lot of motion all happening all at once. By the time I actually came back and knowing where I woke up, I was already in the hospital bed. Um, from what I heard afterwards was that there was a car coming very fast. It must have just ran a red light and it was approaching me, and that's why my like all these motion was going on. But I didn't know that. By the time I realized it, I was already on the floor, and somehow someone must have got me to the hospital. I learned through that journey is that nobody owes me anything. It happened to me. It just happened. It could happen to anyone else. It could happen to the next door neighbor. It happens to everybody. It doesn't discriminate anybody. So it just happened that the universe wants it to happen to me. But the upside is, through every tragedy, there's a big lesson that we learn. Like, what was that lesson I need to learn? And it took me 30 years to learn that lesson. And the funny thing is, the universe will just keep throwing these lessons at you one at a time until you finally stand up and say, "Okay, universe, I got it. Now I got it." So after I have seen all these patterns of that sense of entitlement, that mentality, that mindset of being a victim, I started to learn and see things from a different perspective. And that perspective is, it didn't just happen to me. It just happened. It's not about me. I am not the only victim in these type of tragedy. There are people around me who's going through the very same experience in a different form, shape, and ways. Like for me, it was a physical tragedy. It was in a car accident. It was for someone else. It could be losing a job. It could be a divorce. It could be something that's internal and that we cannot see with our eyes. So that's what I have learned from that tragedy, that not everything is about me.